Welcome back. We are still in Maine and I am taking the pups for a nice little hike, and the leaves are just starting to change color. I love fall in New England. There's Rocco. There's Pretzel. All right, we're going to be going to Waterville and we're visiting the Hathaway Antique Mall, Antique Center, and it's on the beautiful Kennebunk River and it is just a gorgeous view. This is from the parking lot. And this used to be a textile mill, and it used to produce cotton, I believe. And it was founded by a gentleman named Mr. Alfred, and then it was bought by the Lockwood family and turned into a cotton textile mill. So being right on the river, they harnessed the power of the water, and it was just an important part of Waterville history. It has since been turned into residence and a commercial space, rental space, and this antique mall is in there as well, but they preserved the integrity and history of this building, which I truly appreciate because it is a stunning, stunning building. And here is actually a photo from the outside. Look how massive it is. All right, let's get to shopping. Here's the inside of the antique mall. It's just a quick overview of how large this space is, especially the ceiling height, and the windows are massive. All right, we started out looking at jewelry. I have gotten some things from this case before, but nothing today. But don't worry, I found plenty of jewelry. This was a really cool nesting hen that I've never seen before, but the color was actually flashed on, which surprised me. I didn't expect that, and I think they wanted $26 for that. Neat piece. I'm not sure who the maker is, though. If you know, let me know, because I'm very interested. Creepiest doll in the entire antique mall. Has no eyes. Hi. All right, so as you probably noticed already, this antique mall is full of primitives. Maine in general is full of primitives, but in this mall, you're gonna see just a lot of them. I still love the aesthetic of it, and I know there's people out there that like go gaga over primitives, so I don't mind showing it. This booth was completely full of books, and it was on sale, 30% off, but some really old cool books. I don't know nearly enough about books. I would like to learn more. I just feel it's a overwhelming subject to get into because there's just so many authors, so many dates, and I don't know, it just seems overwhelming to me. I kind of just judge a book by its cover, which is not fair, but I do because I don't know what else to do. All right, so here is some really cool primitive furniture. And then up here was a soda and syrup dispenser. It was right around $300, I believe, but I thought that was interesting. I love how they displayed it with the fake lemons and peanuts in there. I thought that was a cool display. And then over here is something new. This was not here the last time I was here. It's just bins of picture frames and pictures, and that is something they added recently to the antique mall. Over here we're in the cases, and there's some beautiful jewelry in here. I have looked through this before. That Bakelite cherries up there were really catching my attention. But they had beautiful brooches, cameos, and some necklaces and rings that I have looked at them before, and their prices are right at retail, but they do have sales every so often, so I do find things in here once in a while that I can buy and resell. And then we're at my favorite booth. I shouldn't even say that. We're at my favorite hutch. I don't know what else to call it, but this hutch is full of jewelry, like full of, look, there's me opening the drawer. Look at all this jewelry, and it's priced so well. I can find stuff in here right around $2 to $3 each. So I'm gonna see right there, $2, right in that very first one we opened. And he restocks every week. He comes in and he's like filling up all these drawers. So I like to come here at least once a week to see if there's any new jewelry that I might need, because you know I do my knickknacks jewelry train on Wednesday nights, and I found this grouping of 3 fish, and I'm like, oh, those are cute. I like fish, and I believe it was only $2, so I did buy that. And I'm gonna make a little pile. So what I do is I put up a pile and then I go through my pile at the end and see what I can live with and not live with. And today I got all of it, so just a spoiler alert. So yes, every single one of these drawers is full of bagged jewelry. And the vendor does a really nice job describing. He writes in marker on these little bags, which must take forever, but describes every piece. If he knows who the maker is, he'll put it on there. Sometimes things are sterling and he'll put it on there. So I appreciate the time they put into all the descriptions on these little bags. It's a fun little brooch. Oh no, it was a pendant. It had like little rocks on it, which is stones. I thought was pretty neat. And I passed on it though. Don't worry, I got a bunch of stuff. Don't worry, there's plenty more to look at. We're just on the second drawer. Now we're on the third drawer. Don't worry, I didn't go through every single drawer with you guys. But look at how packed it is. I could sit here. The first time I came here, I actually did sit here on a Saturday, and it was like at least an hour. All right, so here's everything I got today. I got a necklace, which ended up being a Cora right there. And I got that fish brooch, a little bar brooch, and I got a Christmas tree brooch, that little bow looking rhinestone brooch, and that's a sterling silver brooch with the pink rose. So I'm happy with what I picked. All right, let's keep going. This is an old-fashioned heater from what the tag said. When I first saw it, I thought it was a tanner. So you would use to tan your skin, but it's not. It's a heater. The aesthetic of this booth was really nice, especially with that blanket hanging there. I thought that was a nice touch. And then this was Federal glass. I've never seen this pattern before, so it caught my attention and I had to check it out. Yep, there's the shield. Federal had teapots and kitchen utensils on it. Over here was this fantastic pie safe, and then on top was this apothecary box with all these little drawers. I think it was right around $250, and I loved it. And if I had room in my van for that, it would be in my van right now. It was so good. I love the color. I love the oldness to it. And these were bins, glass top bins. I'm sure people would put things like their grains in here, but I could be wrong. It was really cool to find, and it looked so delicate though. I would be very afraid to put that in my van. And I don't remember how much it was. This vendor actually had some glass right up my alley. This is a Fenton Cranberry Opalescent Rose Bowl. They only wanted $20, and this is a cranberry swirl vase, and this one was $40. So good prices. I thought about it, and then I'm like, I'm gonna think about it a little more. And then back here, there was a Snowcrest cranberry glass beaker looking vase. I am not sure who makes that. If you know, let me know. It looks kind of like a pilgrim piece, but I could be totally wrong on that. And then there was these Bristol glass vases. There was a pair of them. They're made in England, and that was a nice tan color that I've never really seen before. All right, this booth was 25% off and had a lot of kitchen stuff. Nice Pyrex back there. And then I walked right by him. But they had this uranium reamer, juice reamer, and it was only $15 and 20% off. And I'm like, oh, I should get that. And I was checking it over for any chips, and sure enough, right on the spout, there was a big chip. So I left it, even though it is a good price for what it is. And then I came back over here. Oh, I'm like, pie birds. There was something I saw, pie birds. There were two for $18 and 20% off, which I thought was a good deal, but one of them had a chip on its little beak there. So I left them. If it wasn't chipped, I probably would have got them. This is a really cool old stove, and I think it was right around $2,500. I could be wrong on that. But look at it. I mean, it's fantastic, and the color was so nice. And then over here, I'm on the hunt for furniture. I know that sounds weird because I live in a van, but I want to redo the interior of my van, and I want to do it with the vision I have in my head. So I'm on the hunt for furniture, which is one of the main reasons I came to this antique mall, because I knew they had a ton of furniture. And I think I found the piece I want, but I'm not sure. I will let you know. In here there was a bunch of yellow ware bowls, and these are just really hot right now. I see them with super high price tags. I see them go high when I'm at live auctions, and they're just beautiful. Here's a couple of carnival glass pieces. That's a nice emerald green. I believe that's a Fenton thin rib right there on the marigold. They were $20 each, $10 and $20. Really good prices on those, but I don't know. I wasn't feeling it today. Maybe tomorrow. Over here was this beautiful enamel work pitcher with the applied handle. And then down here there was some beautiful Roseville teapot sugar and creamer set. I thought that was very nice. Also some more vintage kitchenware there. And then we went over to this booth, and this Aladdin thermos and a lobster. But the Aladdin thermos caught my eye first, and I had to check that out. I believe it was $20, but I love the plaid print on it. And there was some Bakelite knives back here, which also caught my eyes, and those were $38, I believe. So fun stuff in this booth. Had to look it over, see if there's anything I was missing. Cute little tomato sugar and creamer set down there. And then over here, this booth had more furniture. Look at that headrest back there. Headboard? Headboard. It was really pretty. I thought at first it was a sidebar, but it's not. It's actually a headboard. And then these little wall decors caught my attention. There's like little teeny tiny pots, and there was a set of 2 of them. And I'm like, wow, I've never seen those before. And then over here, there was a bamboo set. That's a desk. And I'm like, wow, will these open? Because that is interesting. And then they had this little side table that matched it, but I couldn't get the drawers to open. And then there was this Italian pottery flower frog. And I'm like, wow, I really like that. But then there was no price tag, and it had a tiny, tiny chip on the bottom. So I left it. If it had a price tag, maybe I would have got it, but I didn't have time for them to call the vendor and get a price for it. All right, so let's go over to this booth, and over here there's more furniture. There's some more Pyrex there and more chests. I love, love, love finding the chests because I want to find one that my fridge will fit into. I have yet to find that because my refrigerator is it's like a cooler style. It's a chest, so I want to put it in something and get it like out of sight, out of mind. But it's a weird dimension, so I'm having a hard time finding something. All right, over here was a really cool decorative piece. It's like a door, and then it had this crocheted lace thing over it. And there's some Barber bottles there. Nice little pair of those. And they had a teapot, and they said that was from the late 1900s. And up here, more teapots. And then they had these really cool vintage, like vintage, true vintage clothing. And they said this was a morning dress from the 1800s, early 1900s. And I thought it was just fascinating. So I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. I've never seen one of those in person. So fun clothing over here, like super old clothing. It was fun to look at. And I like that polka dot skirt at the end. And then we went over here, and I had to check out the shelves, of course. There were some salt and pepper shakers there that caught my attention. And then that vase behind there was really nice too. This booth was half off, and there was a Fenton milk glass hobnail pitcher. And I believe after everything was said and done, it would have been like $20 with the half off. But it has a handle, so you know me, I can't do handles. Oh, and this picture really intrigued me. It was a mother showing her daughter how to fish, which you don't see very often. And I thought that was different, and I liked it. So I wanted to capture that to show you guys, and there it is, half off. And then over here, we're back at some cases, and again, I've had some really good luck in the cases because the jewelry here is just really fantastic. Over here, there was some fun finds. There was some marbles up there, including some clay marbles, which are harder to find. There was some flower frogs, jewelry caskets, little articulated dolls, banks. Look at that stuffed monkey. He was adorable. And then down here, there was just a few more items to look through, including more jewelry, which always catches my attention. This booth also had a pottery flower frog, and I've looked at that before. And then there was this really cool blue pitcher. Alright guys, so I figured I would give you just a little bit bonus footage at the end here. When we're done looking through this booth. Ooh, look at that pottery bowl, vase, spittoon. It was really cool. It was signed, it looked older, and it was like $28. So I thought that was pretty neat. Oh, and a thermometer. Wait a minute. I was just saying I need a thermometer for the van. Not this kind though. Maybe something a little more modern for the van. Wow, look at that watering can. That looks cool with all the flowers in there. I was looking at the table, honestly, not the watering can at the time. Because I thought, wow, that table could do what I need it to do. And then this table caught my attention too, because I'm like, they called it a potting table, I guess for gardening. But like I said, I have a plan I want to do for the van, a project, and I thought that might work, but it was too small. And another flower frog, because why not? Okay, let's keep going. We're gonna go over and look at this booth, which had some Crocs in it. A lot of Crocs to be found up in Maine. I found them at live auctions quite frequently. And then this, I don't know what this is, side cabinet, was really cool. And then this compact was, it had a mirror, and I think it was only like $9 or something. And then in here there was more jewelry, so I had to look through here, but I had looked at it before, so I didn't spend a whole lot of time, and it did not look like they restocked. So I quickly moved on because I knew there was another jewelry box over here, which I had found things from in the past, and I was hoping that they restocked this one. But I think the sign said that they were moving out, so I don't know if they're restocking at all. Look at that little goober. Okay, here's the case that I was talking about. It's just a small jewelry case, and I did go through it, and I did not find anything new. It all looked like the stuff that was here before, but you always got to double check. There was this strawberry flower pin, and it had a couple of rhinestones missing, so I had to leave it behind. And then there was a little hat pin, and there was a watch, and it was marked, but I could not make out who made it, and it looked a little bit more modern, so I did leave it behind. And these beads were here before, and I loved them, but I don't think they're Bakelite. I think they're just plastic beads, so I left them again, but I tried to straighten it out a little bit before I left. There we go. And it was only $5 per piece. All right, so here's that bonus footage. We are back outside at the Kennebec River, and I just wanted to show you a little panning view of how pretty this area is. I wish they had remodeled that building right there, because how cool would it be to live right on the river? Not next to the river, but on the river. All right, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you on the next video.